I believe in walkable city supremacy. I do too. Walkable cities is like the ultimate solution to America's obesity problem. Little birdie told me you guys wanted a camera upgrade for these videos I've been dropping recently. I've been doing daily uploads. We don't know how long this will last, but it will absolutely for sure last through December. I can tell you that. As many of you guys know at this point, I have traveled to Germany about 2-ish years ago. And when I landed, I immediately was greeted with the public transportation over there. Now, I'm also from Chicago, Illinois in the United States, and I grew up in a major city, so I had experience using public transportation before. Actually, arguably America's best public transportation system. So going from that to using the transportation in Europe was pretty baffling for me. There are things I appreciated more in Europe using Germany's public transportation system than I did in my hometown's public transportation system. And one of the basic things was the safety. And of course, the second thing was the sheer efficiency. I mean, the way that the trains were designed was absolutely insane. I mean, you couldn't hear anything on the outside of those train cars. And I was like, wow, I'm very impressed. Of course, there were also some intricacies in the trains that I noticed when I got in them. Like there's this button on the doors in most German train stations and stuff like that. When the train stops, you can go ahead and press that button prematurely and the doors will pretty much open once the train comes to a screeching halt. In this video, we're going to be covering a lot of Americans experiencing European public transportation for the first time. And a lot of these Americans honestly have not experienced public transportation in the United States because a lot of Americans live in rural parts of the United States. The United States is obviously very big and we don't have a crazy amount of major cities. And the major cities we do have, some of them have amazing public transportation systems, but it's not that common. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. If you guys are returning viewers, welcome back. If you guys like this new quality, it's not really new, you guys have seen it before, but the quality of the camera and the mic combined, right? This has got to be mind-blowing for some of you guys. Go ahead and drop a like on this video and subscribe if you have not already. Oh my God.
No, it's not. Look up.
Bruh.
Where?
Bruh.
Oh my God, inside.
Just barely missed the train. This is so real. Yeah, buddy. You know what? I live in South Korea and that happens to me all the time. If I catch a train or I'm trying to make a train connection, if I get off of one train, I try to catch the next one. The next train is on a different platform on the opposite side of the train station underground somewhere, right? Maybe 2 levels down. And I'm like, oh my God. Now in Germany specifically, when I was out there using the public transportation system, me and my friends were trying to catch a train. And the same thing wound up happening. We got off of one train and then the following train we needed to catch was on the opposite side of the train station on a lower level. And I'm like, oh my God, bro, we might not make it. And you know how the Deutsche Bahn is, bro. It's absolutely insane. We ran across the train station and barely missed our train. I think we wound up missing our train. This was in Berlin. I was like, okay, well, I mean, we could always wait around for another one. But again, funny thing about the Deutsche Bahn is it's unpredictable. I love the public transportation system in Germany, but I also hate it because you don't know when those trains will decide to actually follow the schedule that is presented to them. Sometimes the trains will be on time and a lot of times they will not. A lot of times the trains will break down. Spotty at best, very spotty. And I got to experience that firsthand. So if you guys have some Deutsche Bahn experiences, let me know in the comments down below. But obviously there are plenty of other countries throughout Europe that have totally functional transportation systems and stuff like that that don't really have big complaints from the people. But actually, what I want you guys to do right now, in the comments right now, let me know what are some pros and cons of your public transportation systems. Everybody has something. This is pretty interesting because honestly, this is one of the biggest reasons why I will always prefer cities over rural areas in general. And I'm pretty sure it depends on where you live. Even rural areas have like some remnant of public transportation and stuff like that. But generally speaking, cities have more accessibility when it comes to public transportation. But yeah, it's cool. The ease of travel, the walkability and stuff. You don't have the pressure of paying for a car and having all these payments, the insurance thing, whatever. It's cool. It's refreshing. I really like it. And then of course, there's so many things to see and do. And I think it opens up a lot more to you. I do think that it also allows you to save a bit more coin in your pocket. Now, I know some people might argue that public transportation might be on the expensive side depending on where you travel, but most of the places I've been to have not costed hardly anything as when it came to public transportation. They were very cheap. They were affordable. I do think that if the United States can lock in and make that available for almost all of the 50 states out there, that would be cool. That would be super cool. And I absolutely believe that the infrastructure of the United States could benefit strongly from something like that. I mean, think about it. A lot of people paying into the system. I do think that it would actually start to hurt severely the car industry. So as I'm saying this, I don't think it will be a practical thing for the United States to actually do. Although it would be beneficial to its people, it would be detrimental to the individual car company owners' monies. Okay. And at the end of the day, we love money and we love individuals that make tons of it. We love our billionaires, our trillionaires, our gorillionaires. I believe in walkable city supremacy. I do too. Walkable cities is like the ultimate solution to America's obesity problem. Listen, I feel like we can greatly reduce the amount of obese people there are in the United States if we put more walkable cities in the United States. If we create more walkable cities. We have a lot of cities, but a lot of those cities are still not walkable. They're spread out. Our cities are designed for cars to drive from point A to point B. It's designed around our cars. The automobile industry is very much thriving, and I think it will continue to thrive forever. I would think that having public transportation in every single state in the United States wouldn't be super detrimental, but I can see how it would be, right? I mean, why would people pay an arm, a leg, and a goat sacrifice for a car when you can just get from point A to point B via public transportation? Now, I will say the most common thing that I have heard about people not liking public transportation, doesn't matter what country they're from, is they just don't like dealing with people, right? They don't want to interact with a bunch of different people, bumping into people, having to forced interactions and stuff like that. Like, excuse me, can I get around you? Or, hey, stop talking so loud. I'm trying to think while I'm sitting on this train. Things like that, right? A lot of people have complained about that in the United States and throughout Europe and throughout Asia. It's the same sentiment. And of course, as a result, they get their own vehicles and they drive around, whatever. So I do think having a more elaborate transportation system would be amazing. And that would make those cities walkable as hell. But again, in the United States, at least, I don't think that's happening anytime soon. I do think that they will improve the transportation systems that they already have in the areas that they exist. That'll continue happening, but I don't think they're going to be spreading the way that I think would benefit the United States. Welcome to the first world. You guys' comments are absolutely hilarious. One of your comments actually said that America is a third world country with a Gucci belt. Like, we have a lot of first world things and stuff. And yes, of course, we're a first world country, but have the world fooled, I guess, because there's a lot of basic things that would just make the American people's lives a little bit better that we refuse to have in the United States, because again, it would cost money that would, affect politicians' pockets and take from, people who would like to continue being filthy, blindingly rich, right? It does suck. Moved to Chicago from Atlanta, and by golly, the transit is so much better here, but damn, it could be so much better. See, this person gets it. That person moved to my home city. Okay, I told you guys, it's the best transportation system in the United States by a landslide. And I'm definitely challenging all my New Yorkers out there, because the Chicago Transit Authority dominates. But there are still some severe fallacies when it comes to the Chicago public transportation system. So we have a long way to go. I think in general, if every major city in the United States and even the micro cities had a variation of Chicago's public transportation, it would infinitely be better for the American people 1,000%. But who am I? I'm just a dude, just a guy with a camera talking about my own little opinions, whatever.
You're jealous of me. Off you go.
You are the
Off you
most
go. Back to Paddington.
classless person. Throw out what
Paddington.
people say
Back
about
to
me.
Paddington.
I mean, it didn't really show me much, but it kind of looks like she's freaking out being on public transportation in general. But I am curious to see what the comments have to say about this, because, I mean, there wasn't really much going on here. Eavesdropping is my spiritual gift. I will say that is something that is a common denominator across every type of public transportation. Now, I did just mention that generally speaking, from the public transportation I've used in Europe, which is basically only Germany, it's a lot quieter than the United States, but it's not dead silent. You know what I'm saying? You can still got people every now and then that love to just put their business out there. And that's also the same thing throughout Asia too, right? I'm in South Korea, and you know, sometimes when I take the train, even though the sentiment is like, you know, it's a mutual understanding, like, hey, like keep your voice down. If you can refrain from talking, cool, because you're saving other people's ears. People are still people at the end of the day, man. People love to yap and yell and beg and all kind of stuff. So yeah, that happens a lot. It's interesting when it does pop up. All the FaceTime calls out loud. Seriously. There's two things that baffle me in general about public transportation literally anywhere, and they have to do with being considerate. I've been on trains before, every place that I've traveled to that had them available, right? Traveling to Germany on the train somewhere, and you know, I've lived in South Korea now for almost 4 years, so boom, here. There will be like those one or two people that hop on a train at any given time that will be loudly talking on their phone. And I always think it's interesting because, I mean, hey, listen, if you want to put your business out there, I'm all the way down for some drama. But then what irritates me is some of the people that come on the train and they'll have a speaker, right? Or they'll just have their phone on loudspeaker and they'll be playing a loud phone game, or they'll be listening to their music super loud. It is crazy annoying, like wildly annoying. That low key might be a pet peeve of mine. Didn't bother me when I was younger too much, but the older I've gotten, I'm like, oh my God, bro, please, can your brain cells shake hands and realize that we don't want to listen to that shit? Please put that shit away. I would appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, if you guys have pet peeves about public transportation experiences you've gone through, let me know in the comments down below, whether that be in the United States or any country throughout Europe. I just want to hear what you guys have to say. Also, I use this example all the time. When I was on the Deutsche Bahn going to Hamburg, there was a Fußballspiel that had just happened between two big ass countries and stuff. I think one of them was Scotland and another one was some German team. But basically, there were a bunch of Scottish people that got on the train and they were drunk and loud, real loud. Now, I didn't mind because I thought it was super entertaining, but all the Germans in the train were turning up, bro. They were mad as fuck. They were like, hey, please shut up. It was crazy. And I could not help but laugh because it was funny. Like there was an old man that got up and walked to where we were sitting and stuff, because the Scottish peoples were sitting all around me and everything, and they were having a blast. They had their beer coolers with them. They're like, you know, cheering and stuff. They're singing their like chants and whatnot, and I was like, wow, this is very interesting. This old German grandpa walks up to them, and in German, he tells them, please, do you not understand everybody's trying to enjoy the silence? And then they looked at him, they looked at me, and I looked back at them, and I looked at the old man, and they're like, I don't know what the fuck he just said. And they just continued to fucking go crazy. And I almost lost my mind because I thought it was obviously. I know the guy's like, please, like, be quiet, but I can't lie. I've told this story before, but I left at the part where I was almost like chuckling myself because it was kind of like an out of body experience. I'm like, this is crazy.
Am I better than everyone?
Hey man, I'm not gonna lie, this is real as fuck. I definitely have felt like that before. I'm like, man, I'm over here in a foreign country enjoying myself using public transportation. Everybody's behaving for the most part, you know what I'm saying? Like it feels safe. Like I don't have to spend that much money on it, you know? And it's beautiful. The surroundings, it's like directly out of the picture book. It's absolutely breathtaking. You're using public transportation in an area that's been around, that's older than the United States, right? And it's like, it's crazy to me. Most of my experiences, I have to reiterate this because we get new viewers here. I was in Bremen, right, in Germany. Most of my experiences are going to be related to Germany. So I was in Bremen, Germany, and the area is very old. It looks very, very old. It's been around for a long time, long time. I don't know how long, but it's been around for a long, definitely older than the United States, for sure, right? And what was interesting was the clash of the public transportation, like the train cars, and the old buildings. Like, it was almost like out of place a little bit. I saw the trolley go through the city, right? And it was like this brand new fancy trolley. I'll layer some clips over what I'm talking about so you guys see what I'm talking about. But it was like this fancy trolley kind of just going through the city, and the city's just real old and elegant and like very detailed and stuff. And you have this futuristic train going through, or a trolley going through the city. And it was mesmerizing. I wish America could learn with European countries. So many people can't drive due to a disability. Most cities are not pedestrian friendly. It's a shame, honestly. That is a major complaint I do have about a lot of cities throughout the United States. They are not pedestrian friendly, and unfortunately, they're not designed to accommodate people with disabilities. So there's a lot of roadblocks when it comes to things like that. And it's something that I definitely noticed was a thing that existed in most of the places I traveled to in Germany. I'm like, oh my God. And I guess that's the same sentiment in many European countries as well. Like, there was something very interesting, right? I was crossing the street and I had never seen this before. There was this weird like noise I kept hearing. I'm like, what the heck? And it was coming from the traffic light. And I'm like, what is that? And I guess someone was telling me it's like for people who can't see, right? It's like a cue for them to like know when to go and to stop, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that is so cool. They have, ridges in the ground for people who are also blind as well. It's so cool. There are a lot of different like things that are accommodating for people who have disabilities and stuff like that make it easier for them to navigate. And it's something that I didn't even think that existed at all, because the public transportation system I'm used to doesn't have a lot of those. It has some things, like it has like a space for like people who like if you're in a train, for instance, there's an area for people who are in wheelchairs and stuff like that. So that's really cool. And I think there has been a major upgrade since I've left Chicago. I have not been to Chicago in like 12 years. So all the things I'm complaining about probably exist in Chicago, and I just don't know anything about that because I have not visited the city in a decade plus.
Oh, My American came out. So I'm sitting like on this bus, and this bus driver, while I'm listening to a YouTube video, he's like, oh, can you turn it down, be quiet? Meanwhile, he's playing music. People in the back are like talking super loud. There's no like volume or nothing telling you to be quiet or nothing like on the bus. And so like, no, like what the fuck? So he gets off the bus and now he's smoking a cigarette. He's mad. I don't give a fuck if you mad or not. Like,
that's real as fuck, bro. That's real as fuck. Hey, man. One thing I learned real quick traveling to Europe, man. The customer is not king, brother. The customer is not king. I'm telling you, people, they will do you dirty if you don't listen to them, man. Like the staff members and whatnot. If you're in public transportation, if you're in a restaurant, a store, what have you, anything where you are the customer, if you are not behaving accordingly, well, you're going to get a very human reaction. If I'm driving and you're distracting me while I'm driving, there could be 5 other people back there that are, talking aloud, doing whatever. But if you're close to me and I'm hearing your thing the loudest, I'm going to be like, hey, bro, can you turn your phone down? Can you blah, blah, blah? And if you're like, no, I'm pulling that whole bus over, bro. I'm pulling the whole bus over and I'm doing what he did. I'm taking a smoke break. Now I understand why Europeans smoke so damn much. I think he just told him to turn the phone down, which is crazy. Guy, man, he told me to turn my video down. It was too loud. I'm like, bro, then you should just turn your video down. Or here's an idea: bring headphones. I just talked about this. People that get on the train and they be playing loud out video. Put your headphones in. And if you don't have headphones, invest in some headphones. Listen, the fact that you can use public transit over there, right, and it's affordable, that probably saved you enough coin to get some cheap headphones. Headphones don't cost that much anymore, man. You can get some cheap $6, €6 headphones.
I need to turn my shit down. It ain't even loud. So when I got off the bus, he ended up apologizing. Like, don't be doing that. You ain't say nothing to all them people that was behind me talking. and now you want to say something to me. Like, don't do that. Like, this ain't like, bruh, Americans, we don't play that, bruh. Don't be too selective.
A little combative, but I at least understand where it's coming from. A big mistake here. I already know some of you guys are typing away in the comments as I say this. And the driver told him, hey, turn it down. And he responded by saying, it's not even that loud. How good is your hearing, sir? How good is your hearing? Because my hearing's not good. My hearing is not good. I talk loud as fuck. All right. If someone tells me to quiet down, I probably just need to do that. Right. I'm probably screaming and I don't realize that. If I'm listening to something on my phone and someone tells me, hey, can you turn that down? I understand my hearing's not good, but I'm aware that my hearing's not good. This gentleman here probably does not know that his hearing is not that great. Just use headphones while in public. Problem solved. That's what I'm saying. How hard is it to get your ass some headphones, put them things in, and go like, wow, I can hear my video and no one else can hear my video. Follow me for more tips and tricks. From Arriva's website, we expect our customers to use headphones when listening to their music on board the bus. Oh, you know what I'm about to say, right? I've been preaching this for the last 9 videos, y'all. And so if you guys have been watching these daily uploads, you know exactly what I'm about to say. He didn't do his what? He didn't do his what? He didn't do his what? He didn't do his research. He did not do his research. He did not read the rules and regulations before he hopped on that bus, did he? Because he has a problem. He's crashing out. Oh, because us Americans, we don't play that. Bro, put your headphones on. It says it on the website. Now, this is exactly why Europe is so much more nice than the US. It's all about respect and humility. Respect our culture. We do the same in the US. I have to say, I genuinely like your videos, man. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you know, people will give you what you give them. If you're respectful, they will respect you back. They might not show you the same level of respect, but they'll at least not be incredibly overly egregiously rude. There is this thing I have noticed though, where there's a misinterpretation of what rude is. Like I know a lot of Americans when they travel to Europe, they're like, wow, the people here are so rude. Like they're not overly nice and fake and asking me how my day was. They don't say hi back to me, da 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 da. I'm like, bro, like they do say hi. A lot of people say good morning. Right. And that's that. I'm like, OK, cool. Boom. Like keep it smooth, keep it pimping and pimp off. Right. Like but people are expecting these like, you know, many like, you know, conversations with random people. And I already went into the whole small talk bit last video, so I won't get into that. But then other things, too. Right. Like I think Americans expect no matter what country they travel to for people to be on their hands and knees ready to serve them. Right. Just like it is in the United States when it comes to the customer service game. That's not going to be the case. And that's not going to be the case with random people you meet on the street either. So again, they're like, oh, Europeans are just rude. I'm like, bro, no, brother. Like they're human, just like anybody else, just like Americans. I mean, we're human too. We'd be messing up, but we also be making some funny mess. I feel like part of the reason why the internet is so interesting is because, you know, we've added our fair share to it and like many other countries as well. But yeah. It's pretty interesting. Let's go over one more comment from this video. And our next comment says, yeah, it's a bit weird here. A lot of noises are tolerated, but having a call on speakerphone or music or clips on speaker, that is frowned upon. And to be honest, I am annoyed by people using the speaker on their phone as well, but not two people having a conversation face to face. I guess it's a cultural thing. I mean, I get that sentiment though too, because if you're on the phone with somebody, real annoying. If you're playing music loud, real annoying. If you're on your phone and we can hear your video that you're watching to yourself, real annoying. But if you're talking to somebody on the train and you're kind of loud or whatever, less annoying, because now we get to be a part of the conversation indirectly. We can eavesdrop more efficiently. We're not listening to something through static. We're like, ooh, okay, damn. In all honesty, obviously, it's a culture to culture thing, right? But some cultures don't care, right? They don't give a fuck. You can be on your phone. You could have a whole beatbox boom set in the train and no one would care. Some cultures are like, hey, radio silence, or we're kicking you out. I will say I have another interesting story to tell you guys, because I do not want you to think that I am this perfect model citizen that does nothing wrong. I am one of the biggest fuck ups of all time. All right. If I'm just keeping it a bean, I am definitely one of the biggest fuck ups of all time. But part of growing is acknowledging that, you know, you have a problem. So when I very first traveled to Korea, I was on the bus. I was taking a bus up to Seoul from where I was. And it was me and my friends. I've told this story before. And we were loud. We were very loud. I was not aware of how loud we were. I was just talking. I was yapping like I always do. And we were so loud that the bus driver, mind you, we're on the highway. and we're in this bus, right? A lot of people. I think there are probably 30, 40 people on this bus. And he yells in the clearest English. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember exactly what he said, but something along these lines. He said, if you do not be quiet, I'm pulling this bus over and kicking you guys out. And we got quiet. We looked at each other. We looked at the bus driver. He had the fire of God in his eyes. And I immediately shut the fuck up. I'm like, okay, cool. Understood. And that was that. That was that. He was sick and tired of us, as was everybody else. Because as I started noticing around the bus, people were trying to take a little nap and stuff. The bus ride was going to be at least 45 minutes to get to our next stop. So people were trying to, sneak a nap in or something. And I was ruining that. They were all miserable because I would not stop. Hindsight, I definitely would have been quiet had I known how loud I was. I also didn't know my hearing was cooked, clearly, because I didn't understand my volume levels or anything. So all to say, was not very aware of my surroundings, and it did impact everybody else. And mind you, this is a public transportation experience that I'm conveying to you guys. Did you check the top middle? For sure there is a music warning. This all boils down to situational awareness. Pay attention to your surroundings. There's probably going to be a warning or some type of blurb somewhere in your surroundings that'll let you know what you can and can't do when you use these trains, buses, what have you, because clearly this man was bent out of shape. You guys let me know how you feel about that in the comments down below. What was an interesting experience you guys have had with one of us Americans over in your country and stuff in regards to public transportation, or maybe just a random conversation that went absolutely south? Because I know based on the things I've gone through, the things that I've seen, and the things that I know I've read in the comment section from you guys, you have something interesting to share. If you have not liked this video already, please do. We are trying to chase 1 million subscribers, hopefully by the end of next year.